Hey guys, had to start off with a shout out to my friend Whitney. You can find her at Parody Whitney. She's amazing. She's so talented and she does these songs and she has a new one out. I'm going to play a sample of it, but you've got to go check her out because she's so gifted and so good. And we bonded over our hatred of And Just Like That, and we became fast friends and have been friends ever since. So definitely go check out her channel. You guys already know about her. She's got this new song up, so take a listen.
The rude girl loves her drama and leads us to believe it all too. She's a rude girl, had limited prospects before dating the one with room temperature IQ.
The biggest insult to the Queen there ever could have been, the total lack of gratitude, a series of claims that were made that proved to be false. Oh, the Archbishop of Canterbury married us in a backstreet alley. I mean, what are you talking about, woman? Virtually everything she said was wrong. She, of course, was the first part of the interview. And then when he was brought in, when Laughing Boy was brought in for the last half, and he's not always the sharpest tool in the box, I think. And when he openly contradicted some of the things Meghan had said, Oprah Winfrey didn't even pick him up on it. So it's a very poorly conducted interview, deeply insulting.
So Prince Harry's turned his back on a family and a nation that adored him. He was a lovable rogue whose childhood heartbreak united the country in goodwill. We're all very proud of him as he served in the British Army. We cheered his wedding, celebrated the glamorous biracial future of the new monarchy. He had it all, Harry, but he's burned most of it to the ground, charged by bitterness and resentment. He's waged war on his family by telling the lurid story of his private life to a media industry he says he hates for invading his private life. And that's at the heart of why I think the public here have grown a bit tired of Harry. They view him as a hypocrite. He spews his truth to the highest bidders whilst repeatedly demanding privacy. He rails against his family for sharing details of their conversations while exposing family secrets and family feuds in books and interviews for millions of dollars. He's reinvented himself as a be kind feminist and mental health campaigner while showing blatant disregard for anyone other than himself. Nothing better sums it up than his decision to tell the story of losing his virginity in his memoir Spare.
And isn't there also a theory that they are consolidating the finances in a way that if they broke up, it would be advantageous to Meghan?
Well, the advantage that they've got is that a lot of their stuff is based in Arizona, I think. I think it's Arizona. And they incorporated their corporations in places that were clever tax-wise, yes. I can't remember. I may be incorrect on Arizona, but I think it was Arizona.
Okay, how are they struggling with the 80 million that they received off Netflix?
Well, I think a lot of those sums have been exaggerated by newspapers, a bit like, in other cases, the newspapers tend to choose at numbers of interest and they do get a bit carried away. For example, they reported on the Archewell Foundation in the Mail today, and they began their article by saying that they 13 million, and they brought up the number 13. And the number 13 million was the money the charity had received. That was not the money the charity paid out. This charity only paid out 3 million, which is 23%. And, their own little mouthpiece, Omid Scooby, was very keen to talk up this, as a generosity. But having been involved in charity myself, and reported a corrupt charity myself to the Charity Commission, I think any charity that doesn't give 50% of its income each year to support the cause is a questionable charity because, if you're the little old lady in the post office in Wales who gives her £5 into the tin, you're thinking, my £5 goes to helping, the pensioner or the Save the Donkey or Save the Whale or whatever it may be. You don't think it's going to pay for offices, private jets, the luxury executives who work for these things. And corruption in charity was what got me into writing. And I think the Archewell Foundation's 23% is an utter disgrace.
So where does the rest of that money go then?
Well, it sits in a fund, but they haven't declared what their expenses are in the notes that I've seen. But they will have to declare that at some point somewhere. I don't know how it works in America. It's all to do with what's called 501c corporations with charity in America. Having worked with a man who had a foundation in America, and he gave money to British charities whilst I worked with him, everything had to go through what's called a 501c corporation, and it's like a company that administers the charity. It's slightly different in Britain. You've got people like this Ngoni Fulzani woman, who's also really known as Marlene Headley, and her charity is now under investigation in Britain because she spent all her money on it. A lot of her money on staffing costs, and charities should be accountable. Now, obviously, British and American charity regulation is very different, but the Archewell Foundation's 23% to me is a shameful sum.
Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this. We're deep diving revenge, so be sure to check back for those videos. Those are my most fun things that I record. I love it so much. I'm really enjoying the deep dive. Check out my merch. I now have Hank and Skank stuff up. I'll put the link in the comments, and check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. I'm about to start doing extra Harry and Meghan stuff content over there, so check that out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.